I just got back from Rome, where we attended Pope Francis' funeral and got to witness the cardinals gathered together to celebrate Mass in St. Peter's Basilica as they continued their prayers for Pope Francis and prepared for the upcoming conclave. While I was there, I was fascinated to visit a church called the Basilica of St. Paul outside the walls, which, aside from housing the literal tomb of St. Paul, features 266 round mosaics along the inside of the frame of the church. They're portraits of every single pope that we've had, from Pope Francis all the way back to St. Peter. It's a complete directory of the unbroken line, and it's one of the things that makes me incredibly confident about the truth of Catholicism. There's also an online version of this papal lineup on the front page of the Vatican website, which, in regards to Christianity as a whole, is sort of a massive flex. It all started with St. Peter, where Jesus himself said, "You are Peter, and on this rock I will build my church." After Pentecost, the apostles got right to work, evangelizing and, this is important, establishing the methods by which the church as a whole would operate. Biblical and historical evidence proves that right away, Christianity had a hierarchy of leaders, and the early church was already using the word bishop. Papacy is the origin of the word pope, and it's basically just Greek for father. Although there had already been the unique office of the Pope since Peter, we started reserving that title, Pope, solely for the Bishop of Rome in the Middle Ages. After St. Peter was martyred under Nero, we learned from an ancient writing of Irenaeus that Linus was the immediate successor to Peter in Rome. He also makes a cameo in sacred scripture. After Linus, it was Cletus, Clement, Everstus, Alexander, Sixtus, etc. Now, anytime we're talking about anything this ancient, it's always going to be difficult to find exact written receipts of exactly how everything went down. But when we're trying to figure out the history of the papacy, it basically comes down to this. 1, Peter was the commander of the apostles, and 2, Peter has a clear lineage of successors. Clement of Alexandria wrote about Peter being, quote, the blessed Peter, the chosen, the preeminent, the first of the disciples. Also, just recently, as of August of 2022, an archaeological dig just off the Sea of Galilee found an ancient basilica with a mosaic that calls Peter, quote, the chief and commander of the heavenly apostles. What a gift it is to have this clarity both in sacred scripture and in general trustworthy history, that Peter was the leader of the apostles, and to actually be able to trace that lineage all the way from him to our next pope.